ഹായ് ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, കുറച്ച് ദിവസങ്ങൾക്ക് മുമ്പ് എനിക്ക് ഒപ്റ്റിയം ന്യൂട്രീഷൻ്റെ കയ്യിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരു കുഞ്ഞൊരു ഗിഫ്റ്റ് കിട്ടി. അതായത് ഒരു കുഞ്ഞ് പെൻഡ്രൈവ്. നമ്മളിന്ന് നോക്കുന്നത് എന്താണ് ഈ പെൻഡ്രൈവിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് ഉള്ളതെന്നാണ്. അപ്പോൾ വെൽക്കം ബാക്ക്. ഈ ഒരു പെൻഡ്രൈവിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് ന്യൂട്രീഷനെ കുറിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള, അതായത് ഒപ്റ്റിം ന്യൂട്രീഷനെ കുറിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള കുറച്ച് ക്ലാസ്സുകളാണ്. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് തോന്നി നിങ്ങൾക്കിത് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാമെന്നാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാനൊരു വീഡിയോ അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഈ ഒരു ക്ലാസ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലാണ്. 3 എപ്പിസോഡായിട്ടാണ് ഈ ഒരു ക്ലാസ് ഉള്ളത്. പക്ഷേ ഞാനിതിന് ഒറ്റ വീഡിയോ ആയിട്ടാണ് അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു പെൻഡ്രൈവിൽ എന്താണുള്ളതെന്ന് കാണാം.
There's a lot of misinformation swirling out there about sports nutrition. So we are here to set the record straight, using top experts to help you eat, sleep, hydrate, and train better. Because once these are locked in, supplements can help you achieve your goals. These are the 5 pillars to a better you.
Hey, my name is Kashish Thakur. I'm a trained martial artist, a calisthenics expert, trail ultra marathon runner, and a fitness enthusiast. Also, I'm a Roadies winner for the year 2018.
To some people, protein sounds like something only a bodybuilder uses. Spoiler alert, it's not. That's right, you, me, your neighbor, your yoga instructor, any way you slice it, we all need protein. And depending on how active you are and your fitness goals, your protein needs, they will vary. We'll talk more about different types of protein later, but for now, we'll focus on protein in general. I'll show you what I mean. We know bodybuilders use protein for muscle recovery, but so does everyone else. Take endurance athletes. For example, like bodybuilders, runners are using their muscles just in a different way, and protein helps their muscles recover after endurance activities. The same goes for swimmer, the golfer, the Pilates pro. You get it? Protein helps your body recover no matter the activity or sport. Worried about bulking up? Don't. For most of us, building muscle requires long-term dedication to a strength training program and proper diet. So understanding that protein is for everybody is just a start. To get a better grasp of what protein is and why it's so important, we need to dive deep. No, deeper. That's it. Now we can break down protein from the molecular level. Protein is made of organic compounds called amino acids. And there are 2 main groups, essential and non-essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids are the kind your body can produce on its own. Don't let the name fool you. These are still very important. Essential amino acid can't be made by the body, and you get these from the foods you eat. Foods that contain all 9 essential amino acids are called complete proteins. Sources include animal-based protein like meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and dairy, and certain plant sources like soya, quinoa, and chia seeds. Foods that are low in or lack one essential amino acid are called incomplete proteins. Sources include most single plant-based foods. Think legumes, nuts, seeds, and even whole grains. So essential, non-essential amino acids. What's the purpose of all this? Protein provides essential building blocks of the body. Protein is also an important source of energy. I can go on, but the point is protein has many jobs in your body. You are probably thinking what all this has to do with your muscles. Well, remember those detailed diagrams in science class that broke down all the ways your muscles use protein? Me neither. Let's ask an expert to help explain it in simpler terms. Hey James, everybody wants to know what makes protein such a big deal.
Consuming protein alone does not automatically lead to greater muscle mass. However, protein can help to build muscle when used consistently over time in combination with strength exercise. Intense physical activity can break down muscle fibers. This is a normal response to vigorous exercise that is an important stimulus for muscle growth to occur. Adequate recovery time as well as a balanced diet are key factors that affect muscle recovery and rebuilding. Protein helps support muscle recovery by providing the building blocks for muscle rebuilding. Remember, muscle recovery is a 24-hour process and can take several days. It differs depending on person and activity. The amount of time needed for muscle to recover depends on your body, the type of physical activity, duration, and intensity.
Okay, so protein is a crucial source for muscle recovery following activity. Got it. So talk to us a bit about how it's used as a fuel source.
Protein is not the preferred energy source for the body, but it may be used for energy when energy from carbohydrates and fats are scarce.
No doubt protein is an important part of healthy, balanced diet and exercise routine. Protein is a really big deal. It's essential for our bodies and it's required in sufficient amounts. But what are some of the different proteins? There's dairy protein like whey and casein. There's different types of collagen for your skin and joints. And there's plant-based protein too. The list goes on. Today we'll break down different types of protein and their benefits, and then you can decide which is best for you. Let's start with a popular type, dairy protein. Whole cow's milk is made of about 88% water and variable amounts of all three macronutrients, 5% carbohydrates, 4% fat and 3% protein. From that 3%, there are two main proteins, whey and casein. Casein is the most abundant protein at 80%, while the remaining 20% is whey. You know, the thin liquid layer that rests atop yogurt. That contains whey protein. And the creamy semi-soft part of the yogurt contains casein. What makes these two proteins so popular is that they are both complete proteins, meaning they contain all 9 of the essential amino acids that can help to support muscle recovery. Both whey and casein also contain the 3 branched-chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine and valine, which help support muscle recovery. Both sound like pretty good options to me. Maybe Jonathan can help us break down these two proteins even more. Hey Jonathan, can you talk us through the difference between whey and casein protein?
Whey is what we call a fast digesting and absorbing protein when compared to casein. The amino acids in whey protein will peak in the bloodstream quicker than micellar casein protein, which are released slowly over many hours. Micellar casein, on the other hand, is a slow digesting protein when compared to whey. This is because when casein protein reaches the stomach, it thickens and forms a gel-like substance which can support satiety, a feeling of being full. This gel also takes longer to break down, meaning amino acids are slowly released in the intestine and absorbed.
Now for those who want to include plant into diets, what can you tell us about plant-based proteins?
Yeah, there are many plant sources that contain protein, like nuts, seeds, and beans. Combine a variety of plant-based protein options throughout the day to ensure you're getting a variety of amino acids from these sources.
Why combine?
When it comes to plant sources, most individual plant proteins are incomplete, meaning they are low or lacking in one or more of the amino acids the body needs. An exception to this would be soy, as it's considered a complete plant protein.
Mix it up in the kitchen when it comes to plant protein. Got it. So we know about different types of protein, but now I'm left wondering how and when should I use protein and protein supplements?
Regardless of goals, a healthy, balanced diet should be the foundation. Aim to meet the majority of your nutritional needs through food. High-quality protein can be found in foods like milk, cottage cheese, yogurt, eggs, chicken, fish, and soy products. Other protein sources can come from a variety of plant-based foods like almonds, whole oats, or brown rice. Protein supplementation is a convenient option that can help meet daily protein needs and support your protein or healthy lifestyle goals. You can add dairy proteins throughout the day, in the morning to balance a meal, between meals as snacks, before and after exercise, or before bed. Remember, muscle recovery is an ongoing process that can last several days. How you use whey or casein protein is entirely up to you. Find what works best for you and your goals. After exercise, whey protein is an option as it's a fast digesting protein. This is what makes gold standard 100% whey such a popular choice for muscle recovery support. Aim for 20 to 40 grams of protein after exercise. Before bed is another great opportunity to get your protein in, but isn't always thought of that way. Consider casein. Micellar casein protein is a slow digesting protein compared to whey, as the digestion process can last up to several hours. This makes micellar casein protein a great option before bed to support muscle recovery as you sleep. Here's a tip I love if you prefer to eat something instead of drinking. Simply put casein protein in a bowl and add just enough water to stir it into a mousse or pudding. Throw it in the refrigerator or freezer for 15 to 20 minutes and it will thicken like a soft serve frozen yogurt or ice cream. You can enjoy it that way or add nuts, seeds, or frozen fruit.
Get extra protein and satisfy my sweet tooth before bed. I'm in. Thanks Jonathan for dropping some knowledge on us all today. When it comes to protein, there's plenty of options to choose from. Whether it's whey, casein, or variety of plant sources, each option has their benefits. The best protein is the one that's right for you. and your goals. Macronutrients. We hear the term macros a lot, but what are they and how do they support our bodies? The name kinda says it all. Macronutrients, or macros for short, are the nutritional compound our bodies need in larger quantities. Carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Each of these nutrients provides energy in the form of calories. Both carbohydrates and protein provides 4 calories per gram, whereas fat provides more than double the energy at 9 calories per gram. And all 3 macronutrients play an important role in the body. By now, you know the importance of protein in supporting muscle recovery when taken consistently over time with regular resistance training. So let's dive into the other 2 macros. My personal favorite. Carbohydrates are an essential macronutrient required by healthy adults and athletes beyond endurance. How much you need varies. More carbs may be required the more active you are, the longer you train and the higher the intensity. This is because during high intensity exercise, carbohydrates are your body's preferred fuel source. For strength and team sport athletes, they are critical for fueling and refueling muscles, supplying energy for muscle development and supporting normal brain function. But not all carbohydrates are created equal. There are 2 types that come from food: simple and complex carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are short chain of sugar units, which provide a quick source of energy. Some examples are dairy, fruits, and refined grains. Complex carbohydrates are longer chains of sugar units that take longer for the body to digest and absorb, providing more of a sustained energy. Some examples include legumes, starchy vegetables, and whole grains. Now let's jump to dietary fats, which are just as important. They get a bad rap, but fats play a number of roles in your body. Just take a look at this laundry list of functions: energy, metabolism, cell support, hormone support. I can keep going, but you get it? That's why we all need fat in our diets daily. Let's talk about the types of fats and where to find them. There are 3 major groups: triglycerides, phospholipids, and fatty acids. Triglycerides are the main type, which make up about 95% of all fats. These are found naturally in our body and in food. Fats can be classified by their chemical structure. The chemical bonds within the structure of fat help to distinguish the type of fat. For example, saturated versus unsaturated. Saturated fats do not contain any double bonds, whereas unsaturated fats contain 1 or more double bonds. You still with me? Let me break it down a little easier. Unsaturated fats are often liquid at room temperature. Most plant-based liquid oils are unsaturated. Unsaturated fats can also be found in nuts, seeds, and fish. Saturated fats are typically solid at room temperature. You can find saturated fats in animal products, whole fat dairy, and even tropical oils. Now that we have gotten the basics out of the way, let's talk about how much of each macronutrient we need daily. And to do that, we'll let an expert weigh in. Welcome, Mia.
Thanks for having me. The AMGR range for total daily energy needs is carbohydrates at 45 to 65% of daily caloric needs, protein at 10 to 35%, and fats at 20 to 35%. But it's important to adjust your macros to reflect your goals. For example, endurance athletes may lean heavier on carbohydrates to support fuel needs, nearing 65% of energy from carbohydrates. On the other hand, someone whose goal is to build muscle may follow a diet with 35% of calories coming from protein.
That's me for sure. How should I go about adding protein to my diet to support muscle building?
Try meeting your total daily intake of protein with evenly spaced feedings, approximately every 3 hours during the day. High protein foods include milk, cottage cheese, yogurt, eggs, fish, chicken, and soy products, as well as a variety of plant-based foods like almonds, whole oats, and quinoa. When adding more protein to your diet, start by increasing your protein portion sizes across 1 or 2 of your meals based on your goal. You can also add protein to your snacks. If you're typically snacking on carbs, then add a high-quality protein source instead, or in combination with a carbohydrate.
Great advice. And what about supplementing with protein powders?
Make sure to stick with a food-first approach, meaning the majority of your nutritional needs are met from whole foods. Many protein powders can serve as easy, convenient sources of high-quality protein, especially if you have a busy schedule or are on a tight budget.
Well said. Thank you so much, Mia, for dropping by today. Regardless of your goal, the most important thing is balance when it comes to macronutrients. This means getting enough carbohydrates, protein, and fats in our diets every day to fuel our bodies to the fullest potential. Thanks for tuning into the Optimum 5.
അപ്പോൾ ഈ വീഡിയോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടെന്ന് ഞാൻ വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ വീഡിയോ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടാൽ വീഡിയോ ലൈക്ക് ചെയ്യുക, ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക. അപ്പോൾ വീണ്ടും കാണുന്നവരെ ടേക്ക് കെയർ.